In the headlines, police return rescued trafficked children to Bauchi. Army to probe candidates claiming Lagos origin in recruitment drive. Federal government to extend suspension of degrees accreditation to Kenya, Uganda. On the foreign scene, Blinken to head to Middle East as risks of regional conflict grow. Hello again. Welcome to the Trust TV News Update at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Now the news in full. The Bauchi State Governor, Bala Abdul Qadir, on Wednesday received 7 children who were kidnapped in the state and trafficked to Kano before being rescued by police operatives in Kano State. The governor announced a 1 million naira donation each to support the education of the children while urging their parents to shun any thought of revenge. The senior special assistant on new media to the governor, Lawal Mu'auzu, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. The Kano State Police Command had arrested 9 suspects who allegedly specialize in interstate trafficking, abduction, as well as buying and selling of minors. The State Police Commissioner, Usaini Gumel, explained that the suspects were apprehended after conducting several intelligence-led operations through which the long-time circle of interstate trafficking syndicates hibernating around Kano, Bauchi, Gombe, Lagos, Delta, Anambra and Imo states was identified and dismantled. According to Gumel, a total of 7 victims, who are mostly minors, were rescued from the clutches of the harrowing criminal activities. We move over now to Kano, where police operatives have arrested a fake medical doctor, Chidera Ugo, accused of killing a pregnant teenager by administering injections and drugs on her. A statement signed by the police spokesman, SP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, said one Nura Balarabe informed the police that 19-year-old Ukasha Mohammed, a resident of Langel village of Tofa local government area, allegedly impregnated his sister, Amina Bala, 19, and approached the fake doctor for help. The statement said Ugu, 24, and resident of Lambum Banki in Tofa local government area, administered the injection with the intention of aborting the pregnancy, but resulted to the death of Amina. Kiyawa said the suspects were arrested and have confessed to the crimes. Investigation by the police revealed that the fake doctor has allegedly been administering injections on pregnant women with tragic consequences. In the meantime, the police had also arrested a notorious thug, Yusuf Haruna, accused of killing an imam in Jakara Quarters, Kano City. The suspect, 18-year-old Yusuf Haruna, otherwise known as Langwasani, attacked and stabbed the imam, Sani Muhammad Shuaibu, with a sharp knife at his back while performing ablution. 2 persons have died in an accident involving the convoy of Sokoto State Deputy Governor Mohammed Idris Gobir. The victims, a policeman and a photographer who were on the convoy, were returning to the state capital on Wednesday after the Deputy Governor's official trip to Sabon Birni. The Sokoto State Police Command confirmed the incident in a statement on Wednesday. The command's public relations officer, Ahmad Rufai, said the accident involved a pilot vehicle in the Deputy Governor's convoy. According to him, other persons who sustained injuries from the incident were receiving treatment at the Usmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital in Sokoto Metropolis. In a distressing turn of events, the chief imam of the Jumaat Mosque in Undun Village, Tangoro District, Bokos local government area of Plateau State, and a commercial rider were tragically killed in the region. Chairman of the Gan Allah Fulani Development Association, Garba Abdullahi, confirmed the incident to Trust TV on Wednesday. He revealed that a younger brother of the slain imam sustained injuries during the attack and is currently undergoing treatment at Dung Hospital in Bauchi town. Adam Musa completes the report.
This sorrowful incident follows closely on the heels of the last week's onslaught on approximately 23 villages in Bauchi's local government area, resulting in the loss of over 190 lives. Chairman Garba Abdullahi shed light on the sequence of the event.
It came to me as a surprise after the unfortunate incident that happened, and the effort of the government from the federal, state, and effort of the security personnel to bring this issue to halt and stand still. It came as a surprise to us, very, very surprise. As one of our imams, Imam Muhammad Sani Idris, was killed in a cold blood. Him and his younger brother, when they went to their bond house to salvage some of the food that is remaining so that they will be eaten on. So they were ambushed, he was killed, and his brother is now hospitalized in Ndung village. Then this morning, inside Bauchi town, one of the Fulani boys went to do his Okada business. He took some passengers only to recover his corpse, and they were all buried now.
Expressing concern over the recurring violence, Abdullahi urged security agencies to intensify effort to halt what he described as silent killings.
I am calling on the security personnel, on the security agencies to redouble efforts. We are appreciating what they have done, but they have to, because we have assumed that the security has taken cover of every place in Bauchi's local government and its environs, because we have learned that the president has sent in more security to safeguard lives and properties of the citizens, the Bauchi's people, both the Fulanis and the non-Fulanis. But these isolated killings are coming to in a surprise manner to us. So the security should put more effort. We are commending them for the effort they put. We are still pleading that they should put more effort to see that this killing stops.
This past week, Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, alongside service chiefs, visited the state to assess the security situation and extend sympathy for the recent attacks. During their visit to an affected community, the service chiefs vowed to bring an end to the needless bloodshed in the state. In Plateau State, clashes between herders and farming communities have unfortunately become a common occurrence, leading to a cycle of attacks and counterattacks. The urgent need for lasting solutions remains a pressing concern. Effort by Trust TV to get an official response from the police and Operation Safe Haven were unsuccessful. Adam Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
In Katsina, the police have taken significant action against rising insecurity, making 1,627 arrests in connection with 938 reported cases from January to December 2023. The State Police Commissioner, Aliyu Abubakar, disclosed these figures during a comprehensive review of the State Command's activities. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi takes it from here.
Out of the arrested suspects, 855 have been charged to courts and are at various levels of prosecution in the state. Among them are 258 suspected armed robbers, 64 suspected kidnappers, 176 murder suspects, 369 suspected rapists and unnatural offenses. In the same vein, 67 human trafficking suspects, 17 suspected kidnappers were neutralized, and 12 AK-47 rifles recovered, with 1,900 rounds of live ammunition. The command had also successfully rescued 171 kidnapped victims during their under review. This is in addition to the recovery of several domestic animals.
Despite the modest achievement, more work remains to be done. Starting from this moment, it is very imperative to warn unrepentant criminals to either surrender or risk arrest.
The police commissioner appreciates the state government and sister security agencies in Katsina for working assiduously in reducing the rate of crime. The command is seeking for cooperation and synergy from residents to enable the police command and other security operatives defeat bandits and other elements in Katsina State. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And to more security matters, 8 persons were on Tuesday reportedly kidnapped by gunmen around the Port Harcourt International Airport roundabout, Omuagwa in Rivers State. It was gathered that the criminals had blocked the left flank of the road from the airport, about a minute's drive from the airport's roundabout. Reports say the victims were moving from the airport access to the Obiri-Ikwere area before they were attacked. One of the victims who escaped, Emmanuel Bira, said the 3 people were whisked away from his car, adding that one of them was shot in the head before being taken away. Bira, who narrowly escaped the attack, said the incident happened near the airport junction, noting that occupants of over 10 vehicles were involved in the incident. The Nigerian Army says it will probe the case of some candidates in its 82-86 regular recruits intake, claiming Lagos as their state of origin. The candidates from Kaduna State who had claimed to be from Lagos and even presented certificates of indigenship of the Southwest state were arrested when they could not prove their claims. Following the arrest, the Army spokesman, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, described the incident as a serious breach. Nwachukwu said the arrest of the fraudulent candidates was a result of the commitment of the Nigerian Army to upholding a transparent and credible recruitment process in line with its core values of integrity and fairness. And now back to the New Year's celebration. A New Year's resolution is a tradition in which a person resolves to continue good practices, change an undesired trait or behavior, accomplish a personal goal, or otherwise improve their behavior at the beginning of a calendar year. With a few days into 2024, residents of Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, have been speaking on the significance of resolutions at the onset of every year.
For many, New Year resolutions have been linked to improved behavior and accomplishment of certain tasks, as well as positive disposition to certain issues. This is because these serve as reminders of the pledge or promise one made at the beginning of the year. However, resolutions to many others have become a cliche, as some who come up with them sooner or later resort to their old selves that they tried to change from. This scenario has made many to question whether or not it is important to make New Year resolutions, or what impact do these resolutions have on people who make them.
For this year, I just want to finish school before school finish me. It keeps you in check. Yeah, so whenever you're trying to misbehave or lose guard, understand there's something you always see what I want to achieve.
My New Year resolution basically is that all the stuff that I couldn't achieve throughout 2023, I want to project into this year. I want to achieve them and even more. So basically is that I want to expand my business, and secondly is that I want to strive for excellence. And I was able to achieve, there were 8 in numbers, I was able to achieve 5. So basically the remaining 3 revolve around family and all that, and I've not been able to achieve that, but I'm trusting God in the first quarter of this year I'll be able to do that. It helps you put yourself in check, so at least you fall back to check those things. Okay, this is what I set for so time. Have I been able to achieve those things within those jurisdiction of time?
It's a change in life. Maybe what we've been doing before, and now you find out that what you've been doing before is not right, and you want to go through the right ways. So you have to change.
Resolutions give directions and motivation to people who are excited to add new positive habits to their lives. These resolutions help one to move strongly to achieve certain goals in the year. No, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still ahead. Nigerians want more time for NIN-SIM linkage as deadline approaches. Details of this story and more to come after the break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
So this about this thing. Yeah, but this time around we're talking about appointment of ministers, where there is an express provision in the constitution as regards that.
Let's come to appointment. You know, it is the status of FCT that the constitution has made is too complicated for people to understand.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view. Because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
And the story of the OAU can be told and retold. It cannot be denied that it made a contribution to the process of decolonization of the continent in many ways.
Ethiopia is where it is today in no small part because of the tireless efforts of the African Union and the wisdom of its deeply held belief in the principle of African solution to African problems.
The bulk of African countries were under colonial rule in 1945. So they did not take part in the negotiations that established the Bretton Woods institutions.
So Cameroonians are anxious, Cameroonians are impatient, Cameroonians are like, oh, many of the guys are not talking today. You can read it all over the social media.
Egypt has officially declined to accept fleeing Palestinians for fear that the more Palestinians you accept across the border into Egypt, the more trouble there may be for the country in the nearest and farthest future.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of some of our top stories. You heard that police return rescued trafficked children to Bauchi. Army to probe candidates claiming Lagos origin in recruitment drive. And now moving on to more stories. Following the suspension of accreditation and evaluation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo, the federal government has said the sanction would be extended to more countries like Uganda, Kenya, and Niger Republic. Education Minister Tahir Mamman disclosed this in an interview on Wednesday in Abuja. An undercover journalist had detailed how he acquired a degree from a university in Benin Republic under 2 months and was later deployed for the National Youth Service Corps. The federal government had immediately suspended accreditation of certificates from the two francophone West African nations and launched a probe, which the minister said should submit its report in 3 months. Mahaman also said students who patronize such institutions are not victims but criminals that should be arrested. He added that security agents will go after those with fake certificates from foreign countries, already using them to secure opportunities in Nigeria. The Nigerian Communications Commission had ordered telecom operators in the country to completely block SIM cards that have not been linked to the national identification number by February 28. Trust TV's Abdurrahman Umar reports that the mandatory NIN SIM linkage scheme that began in December 2020, as directed by the federal government, was one of the policies aimed at curtailing the incessant level of insecurity bedeviling the country. Let's take a look at his report.
Nigeria in recent years has seen an unprecedented rise in the level of insecurity across the nation, manifesting in kidnapping for ransom, banditry, as well as attacks on communities, leading to the death of citizens. As part of efforts to curtail these menace, the federal government during the last administration introduced the mandatory NIN SIM linkage scheme to help track down perpetrators of crimes.
Criminals used to use SIM in only one communication. Sometimes they can use 100 SIMs within 24 hours using one mobile phone. Now most of them exhausted the SIMs with them. If they continue to repeat and recycle the SIM, they can easily be intercepted.
Following repeated disregard and non-compliance to the directive, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has this time around ordered telecommunications operators within the country to ensure complete blockage of any unlinked SIM to NIN by February 28 operating in Nigeria.
You just have to be in tune with reality, and the reality now is that everybody must have a NIN. And everybody's identity that is on the NIN must be linked to your phone number and then be known. Otherwise, you will have no number to work with.
While the federal government continues to call on Nigerians to enroll to obtain their NIN, the procedure for many Nigerians has not been easy.
For Nigeria, it's necessary to pay that 15,000 because of two mistakes. Instead of 71, they put 67. And then with your money, you will be suffering again.
And I'm not too happy because of what I'm facing between me and these NIN people. Since this making me almost 6 months, I'm suffering here. Every day I will be coming, they will be turning me up and down. Go here, go there. Right now I'm from High Court, Metama. Reaching here, they still refer me to another place, so I'm getting tired.
Although it's been 5 years since the mandatory NIN SIM linkage scheme took off as one of the tools for fighting insecurity, one of the questions that remain in the minds of many Nigerians is whether the government is really leveraging the scheme to end the continuous kidnappings and possible killings of its citizens.
Well, for me, the end justified the means. The fact that since after these things were done, we're still having, the same level of criminal activities, or if not more, and nobody has been able to be tracked down, following some of the things that we're discussing right now. So I can say that they're not leveraging on it. Maybe they're still working on it because it was at the latter part of the last administration that it was introduced. Maybe they are not at the point where they can be utilizing all these things. But I know that these are tools that other countries are using and leveraging on to track down criminals. And that's why criminals in those countries avoid communicating electronically or digitally, because they know that they can be tracked. So I don't know why we are not leveraging on it.
As Nigerians continue to decry the cumbersome procedure outlined by the National Identity Management Commission for enrolling NIN, they are however calling on NIMC to make the process seamless to enable Nigerians enroll before the deadline. Abdurrahman Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Abdurrahman Umar, thank you so much for that report. The Central Bank of Nigeria has slammed restrictions on cryptocurrency transactions in Nigeria. The Apex Bank disclosed this recent guidelines on its website for operating cryptocurrency accounts known as virtual asset service providers. According to the guidelines, cryptocurrency accounts shall be used for only virtual and digital assets and not for any other purpose. Accordingly, CBN barred cash withdrawals from cryptocurrency and noted that no third-party checks should be cleared. The developments come after the CBN lifted the ban on cryptocurrency in December 2023. To this end, Nigeria has joined the rest of African countries like South Africa, Botswana, and others to regulate the cryptocurrency market amid its susceptibility to fraud. We'll now take it away from Nigeria. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken will set off Thursday on his fourth crisis trip to the Middle East, including a visit to Israel, an official said, as fears mount that the Israel-Hamas conflict will spiral into a regional war. The trip comes after the killing of Hamas deputy head Saleh al-Aruri in Beirut suburbs on Tuesday. Hezbollah head Hassan Nasrallah on Wednesday warned that his group would fight without restraint if Israel wages war on Lebanon. Nasrallah's address came a day after Hamas deputy Saleh al-Aruri was assassinated in a strike in a Hezbollah stronghold in southern Beirut. The United Nations interim force in Lebanon on Wednesday called for restraint and urged all parties to cease their fire after Aruri's killing. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.